Hey guys, Steve McInday here from Perfect Balance Clinic. Here today talking to my friend Hemant.
Hi guys, Hemant here from Be Green and Healthy and Wise. How are you guys doing?
So today we're here to talk about a very interesting subject which I find very personally interesting, because we often recommend people to go and get iron supplements in the clinic, and we often will recommend them to get them for energy levels, or if they're having anemic related symptoms, or if they've had blood tests and they've been told to take iron supplements by the GP and they're looking for the best source of iron supplements. But I was just talking to Hemant and we were talking about the various ranges of different iron supplements and how many different supplements there are out there, and what the benefits were of taking the different types of supplements. So Hemant, what would you say in your opinion the best type of iron supplements are?
So ideally, sort of the thing with iron is that most people find it either the taste is quite revolting, or secondly it has sort of issues with constipation, diarrhea. So that's the key thing that people are trying to avoid all the time. We thankfully have within our product range, product portfolio, we have products which generally do not cause any kind of or shouldn't cause any kind of a disturbance to the digestive tract, and therefore are less irritating or cause irritable. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. To the digestive tract, and hence not cause any kind of constipation or diarrhea. The best one that we always kind of go to is the nano iron. The whole concept of the nanotechnology is that the particle size is so tiny that it's smaller than the pores of your skin, so it just goes into your bloodstream straight away. It is 100% bioavailable, so it's not about the potency, but it's about bioavailability.
So in terms of the people often complain that they're getting quite constipated taking their iron supplement, or they're still feeling anemic even though that they're getting the supplement, and they're pouring lots of money down the drain, spending lots of money on expensive supplements. But what would you say in terms of bioavailability to people at home who might not understand that? What does that mean?
So when you take any box and it says ferrous sulfate, for argument's sake, 200 milligrams, it is not entirely the 200 milligrams that's going to be absorbed by the body. Your body is going to break it down into whatever it can absorb, and the rest kind of it should excrete. So despite the fact that the headline says 200 milligram, you may or may not, or you definitely will not absorb 200 milligram of that. So that is the thing about bioavailability. So when something is 100% bioavailable, your body will absorb a much higher percentage of that. Iron, again, a mineral, so therefore it has to be bound to another substance or another molecule. So ferrous is iron, and then to make it stable, you then add another molecule called sulfate, oxide, whatever it is, to hold it together.
So ferrous sulfate seems to be the best one in terms of
generally that's what sort of one would get recommended, or one would find it at your local pharmacy, so to speak. Whereas the nano iron on its own is just iron, 100% iron. There's no other binding agent. Hence, it is 100% bioavailable, and the size of the particle is so small that as soon as you hold it in your mouth, it's going to be absorbed. It literally tastes of water. There is no other taste to it. So it's perfectly pleasant to take. You hold it in your mouth for 30 seconds, and boom, job done.
Okay, great.
So that is the best form of iron for people who find liquids sort of difficult to travel with and all the rest of it. We also have some capsule versions. This one in particular has a form of iron which does not irritate the stomach again, but alongside that then it has a whole host of other cofactors, so various other B vitamins, etc., which will kind of work together with the iron, and so therefore the absorption rates will be higher, and you're not only going to get the iron, but you're also going to get the other cofactors with it, which would then give you sort of energy and so on and so forth. So that's the reason why this is a very, very good brand to go to. It has B vitamins, vitamin C, which is sort of necessary for the absorption of iron as well.
So one of the common symptoms that we see with people suffering with iron deficiency anemia in the clinic is low energy levels. If they're very severe, they might be feeling shortness of breath, or generally they have this pallor about them. So they have quite pale conjunctiva. They also have quite pale peripheries as well, and the circulation can be quite poor. So those are generally the symptoms and features that someone might be complaining of when they're complaining of iron deficiency anemia. They can't even speak like me, so I might be iron deficiency anemic. Concentration is probably a big factor in iron deficiency, but it's certainly something that you might want to get some more clear advice from your GP if you do think you might be suffering with iron deficiency anemia. So it's not something you typically come to see an osteopath or physiotherapist for, but it's often a symptom that someone might be feeling, that they've got headaches or suffering with general muscular aches or pains, where they may be also suffering from iron deficiency anemia. And I got it right that time. But it's definitely something that we can help you with, and certainly something we'd be recommending you to go to a good reputable health food shop, or come in to see Hemant at the guys at Healthy and Wise. And you're based in Harpenden High Street, I think.
We're based now Harpenden High Street, and we also have a store in London in Finchley on Ballards Lane, which is called Be Green. So find us on either of these locations. Come in, have a chat. Again, Stephen's absolutely right. Iron is not one of those things that you take willy-nilly. So unless you know that you are deficient, sort of speak to your GP, get a blood test done, and then take it from there. And this is more so even for men, because generally men are not anemic, as a thumb rule. So it's best for men to always get it checked rather than just go, I'll just take some iron supplement.
And I think that's a very interesting point, that a lot of the people that we do see tend to be female purely because of the menstrual cycle and the blood loss, and in particular the iron loss during that menstrual cycle that they have there. So it's very important to make sure that you're looking after yourself if you're female, but also, like Hemant was saying, that if you are male and you're suffering with some of these symptoms, you definitely want to go and see your GP, because it's really important you find out why you've got them. But that's not to say that females don't need to go and see their GP, but it's definitely something that you need a blood test for, need to be diagnosed. It's not something you'd come in to a health food shop and start to ask for iron supplements unless you'd been diagnosed correctly.
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
I mean, ideally the first question, if anybody comes in and says we want iron, we will always ask, have you been, particularly to men, the first question will be, have you checked your blood levels, and are you sure you are iron deficient? Yes.
So one of the things we were actually talking about before is that we'd like to give you guys at home the opportunity for 5 people, that's 5 people, the chance to come in and speak to Hemant and one of the team here at Healthy and Wise, and get some proper nutrition advice. That's only for 5 people that have been diagnosed with iron deficiency anemia, who'd really love to get some good nutritional advice about what kind of supplements they should be taking for their health and well-being, to allow them to function more optimally as well. So if you're interested in interested to be one of those people to come in and talk to the guys at Healthy and Wise, then just leave your details in the comments box below, and we'll forward that on to Hemant and the team at Healthy and Wise. We'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. Remember, that's only available for 5 people, and just leave your details in the box below. But for today, that's bye-bye from me.
Bye now.